Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, today's content is all about dim desperation on gun control. There's even more evidence of it coming today. For example, over the last 2.5 months, we've been doing a lot of videos based around, I think they're posturing, I don't think they can get what they're talking about getting in order to pander to the anti-gun crowd. And so far, we've been kind of right. You and I have had a conversation in the comments field below where it's leaning in the direction of us taking victories. Now, the fight is nowhere near over, but we're going in the right direction. They put House bills out that haven't been co-adopted by House sponsors. The Senate is deadlocked. They're not going to get any kind of gun control, and they've stopped pretty much trying. The filibuster's not going anywhere. They only are pretty much left with a judicial system and then the executive orders. Executive orders and actions are going to be weak, but it's probably the way they're going to go. Now, the judicial system, the fights are always occurring, and we'll touch on that. But right now, they are showing weakness across the board and begging these executive actions. If you remember about a month ago, I did a video on the senators begging the Biden for executive action on gun control. I did a whole video on it. Well, now the House Dems are doing the same thing, and we're going to go into it. I have all the links in the description box below for your review. I always want to hear what you guys have to say. If I'm onto something, if I'm not, let me know your thoughts, and then we'll get right into this in 1 second. Now, before I go too deep in, I'm always trying to earn that subscription for you guys if you're not on the channel already. We have a great time in here, we have an amazing time, and we're always defending our freedom. So if we earn that subscription, please hit that button, and if not, hopefully we earn it on the next one, and then you can join the party with us. But for now, let's get to this dim desperation, because I'm smelling it again. All right, first article from the Epoch Times. A group of House Democrats has asked President Joe Biden to take executive action on concealable assault-style firearms, citing 2 mass shootings in Atlanta and Boulder, Colorado last month. Now, what I'm going to do on these quotes, guys, I'm going to break them down because the narrative that Democrats use is always important. They are exceedingly good at setting a narrative and a verbiage and then repeating it across the board. They are excellent at that. Messaging is their thing. Listen to what they said in that quote. So they changed it up a little bit. Remember previously it was assault-style weapons or assault rifles, weapons of war? Well, now they added a new one, which is bad because they confuse people. This time it says concealable assault-style firearms, so they're adding concealability to it. They're adding an element of confusion where people are going to be lost. And here's more evidence to that point. This is from CBS. The alleged gunman in the Boulder shooting used a semi-automatic Ruger AR-556 pistol, a smaller version of the AR-15 style rifle that is capable of firing rifle rounds. The guy in Colorado purchased the weapon legally, police said. Now, there's 2 things in that quote I'm going to hit on for you guys. First of all, it was purchased legally. You can't do anything with legislation because it's purchased legally, so they can't go that road. They can't use it in that way. Now, the other thing that's really, really important, again, by going back to nuance of verbiage and language, in that second quote, AR-15 style rifles that is capable of firing rifle rounds. Okay, so for 10, 15 years, they've hit on weapons of war, assault rifles can't be in civilian hands, shouldn't be here. Well, now, listen to what they said in the first part of that quote. A semi-automatic Ruger AR-556 pistol, a smaller version of an AR-15 style rifle. They called it a pistol and they called it a rifle in the exact same sentence, and then they said the pistol fires rifle rounds. That creates confusion and they're off message. That's important to pay attention to. Now, this is the actual quote from the article, or from the letter. This is from The Hill. Again, all linked. For too long, gun manufacturers, in order to circumvent the NFA, have designed and marketed concealable AR-15 style firearms which fire rifle rounds. The lawmakers wrote, concealable assault style firearms that fire rifle rounds pose an unreasonable threat to our communities and should be fully regulated under the NFA, or National Firearms Act, consistent with the intent and history of the law. Okay, so what they're basically saying in that quote from that letter is, hey, anything that fires a rifle round should be under the NFA, and that's not bad. That's not good because it could be concealed. Hey, quick question for you. If something can be concealed, doesn't that depend on the length of the coat, not the length of the firearm? In the NFA, you can't have a rifle that's shorter than 16 inches. Okay? If it has a buttstock and it has a barrel that's shorter than 14.5 inches, that's considered a short-barreled rifle, or an SBR. If you don't have a buttstock and it's a shorter barrel, that means you have a pistol, okay? That's what they're trying to go after, but they aren't making that argument. The important part here, guys, is they are showing desperation because they aren't even setting their nuance and their facts right. They're just kind of sending something out to say, hey, I sent that letter, I sent that article. This is the time we pour it on. Contact our senators, contact our House of Representatives. We had 4.9 million people run background checks for new gun purchases in March of this year. If you know one of those people, go out, take them to the range, teach them firearms, build the culture from the ground up. That's how we win this and put this thing to bed. I'm sick of this argument of, well, we can defend our rights. No. There's no reason to. Let's embrace this culture. Let's build it from the bottom to where they have no support no matter what they want to try. And that's what we're going to do on this channel going forward. Until tomorrow, let me know what you think in the comments field below. I'm Braden. See you later.